Why is the box so slim? Who was the one laughing when Apple removed their charger from the box? Well, this is what you get. Hello everyone, it's Summer and I'm back with another Samsung smartphone review. This time we're not going to be looking at any fold or flip phones, but rather their latest flagship model, the Samsung S21 Ultra. So, like I mentioned earlier, the new packaging is very simple. In the box, all you get is the phone itself, along with a smaller box with a SIM tray ejector, USB-C to USB-C cable, and some paperwork. While some hail this as a good measure to save the environment, I'm pretty sure cost-cutting is somewhere in the cards as well. However, as long as the savings are passed down to consumers, I'm all for it. I don't really need to add another charger to my charger graveyard at home. Anyways, let's get to the phone itself. We've got the Phantom Black model here, which boasts a beautiful matte black plastic back with glossy black edges. I know some people are like, wow, expensive flagship phones still use plastic but honestly, this plastic finish is super luxurious and smooth, and you can tell just by looking at it that it's not cheaply made by any means. And anyways, nowadays everyone uses a phone case, so having a glass back doesn't really make sense as it's more fragile, costs more, and it's heavier. Even if you're the YOLO type who walks around with a naked phone, this feels really good and it's much less of a fingerprint magnet than I expected. It takes lots of effort to even leave an oily fingerprint on it, so it looks great most of the time. On to the display. So, this thing is packing a 6.8-inch AMOLED display with 1440p resolution and 120Hz refresh rate, which looks amazing. It ships with 1080p as the default setting though, so you'll have to manually go in and change it. You can also choose HD+, but I prefer my images crystal clear. Another thing worth mentioning is its variable refresh rate setting, which dynamically switches the refresh rate from anywhere between 10Hz to 120Hz depending on what you're doing. You can also fix it at 60Hz if you want to extend battery life. You can choose from two screen modes, Natural and Vivid. Under Vivid mode, you can customize the white balance and RGB settings to further suit your tastes. You can also choose between light and dark themes. Personally, I prefer the dark theme as it's more comfortable to my eyes, and with the AMOLED display, you can probably squeeze out even more battery life as well. The screen comes with a maximum brightness of 1500 nits, so it excels under all lighting conditions. In terms of durability, this device is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, and the device itself has an IP68 rating, so you can be sure it's pretty resistant to scratches, dust, and splashes. There's also a super responsive built-in fingerprint reader, which is great in COVID times where facial recognition just doesn't work anymore because we're all wearing masks. When it comes to audio, this thing can get really loud. Yet, it still retains decent audio quality, which is no mean feat. The stereo speaker setup is great for movies, music, and even gaming. Sadly, this device does not come with a headphone jack, which means you'll need a wireless buds instead. As for performance, we've got the Exynos 2100 chip instead of the Snapdragon 888 that most tend to favour due to battery efficiency and thermal performance. However, the 5000 mAh battery on my Exynos model definitely lasts more than a full day with normal usage. With some social media, calls and messages, I'll still have around half a tank by end of the day. I even tested out some Genshin Impact on this thing at 30fps and medium settings, and it fared pretty well, with the phone heating up just a little bit and remaining well within comfortable temperatures. While battery life is great, charging isn't super fast. It supports a maximum of 25 watts wired charging, 15 watts wireless, and 4.5 watts reverse charging. The numbers are less than half than some other phones out there in the market right now, which is disappointing if you like super fast charging. But on the flip side, it does mean that your battery doesn't take as much abuse, and in turn, that will prolong your battery life in the long run. And now, arguably one of the most important parts of a smartphone, the cameras. After all, a lot of us are either selfie addicts or guilty of snapping tons of food pictures that you'll probably never look at again. So anyway, you'll find a 40 megapixel front camera and a quad camera array on the back. The four back cameras are a 108 megapixel wide angle, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and two 10 megapixel telephoto cameras. If you go inside the camera app, you'll see four icons that represent wide, standard, 3x and 10x zoom. It supports 100x space zoom, which I still feel is a novelty, but it's there if you want to take yet another picture of the moon or spy on people showering in their apartment across the city. You can tap on the preview window in the corner to help stabilize the image, but I still haven't quite gotten the hang of it yet. There's no dedicated macro mode, but it will automatically turn on as soon as you get close to the subject. As for single take mode, it's a pretty interesting feature. Basically, you take a short video from anywhere between 5 to 15 seconds and it will help you edit a variety of images and clips. Results will vary and it's quite unpredictable, but still a fun feature to play around with. There's also a bunch of modes available, but let's talk about the selfie camera for now. Now, it does have a built-in beauty filter for all the catfishes out there, but you can turn it off if you don't like it. For those who enjoy a bit of artificial beautification, you can pick between levels 1, 2 and 3 for varying amounts of slimming, smoothening and eye widening. Overall, the image quality is what you would expect from a Samsung flagship: clear, vibrant and high quality. Now, another thing to note for before we end this video is the Samsung S21 Ultra is compatible with the Samsung S Pen. We don't have one to try out right now, but according to Linus's review, it's backwards compatible as far as the Note 9 S Pen, which is great news for those who already have one. One last thing to take note of is the lack of expandable storage, which sucks for those people who tend to suck up phone memory like a sponge. So, choose your phone variant carefully to make sure you have enough storage space to last you until the next time you upgrade your phone. This particular unit has 12GB of RAM along with 256GB of storage, but it can go up to 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage if you need it, or as low as 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage if you're not a heavy user. And that's about it for today's review. Do you like how we seem to be going chargerless now? Or is the lack of expandable storage and a headphone jack a deal breaker? Let us know what you think in the comments below. This is Summer from Salty News Network and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!